Okay. So what are the things that you find challenging in non-profit organizations? Because this is one area where I have seen students struggle in the exams also. When I see their papers and all, they find it challenging. Which aspect of non-profit organization do you find challenging? So accordingly, I will pace my discussion and I will ensure that you are true-weighted. Previous year balance sheet. Okay. Previous year balance sheet. Anything else? Making receipts and payments account from income and expenditure account with all adjustments. Okay. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Okay, thanks for the confirmation. So today we will take up non-profit organization, which we typically call it as NPO. Very similar to what we learn as a part of final accounts. So if you know final accounts, handling non-profit organization is not a challenge. First thing. Okay. Now there are a few differences that you will see. First difference is here when we prepare the accounts, we have receipts and payments account. This is nothing but kind of summary of cash book, right? So you have receipts and payment account, which gives you the summary of cash book. But please remember, we will have to prepare income and expenditure account on the basis of accrual basis of accounting. Okay, so summary of cash book. Then instead of P&L, we prepare something called as income and expenditure account. So the principles are same as P&L. Here you have income and expenditure. Okay, and at the end you may have surplus or you may have excess of expenditure. Then you have balance sheet. This you know, all of you know, it is common. Now, in most of the cases in non-profit organization, you will not be given a trial balance. Okay, the information will not be given as a trial balance, right? So because information is not given as trial balance, you have to work around and identify the numbers. You have to work around and identify the numbers. That is one important thing. Not like what we discussed yesterday, you will take up the trial balance and you will plot all the numbers. That kind of information will not be given. Now, when we look at the question, what all do we need? Okay, I will come to different types of question. What all do we need? First, we need is opening balances. Okay, these opening balances may be given to you as a question or as a list or a balance sheet or as other information, but we need opening balances. Why do we need opening balances? We need capital fund, we need the cash balance, and we need any other balance. For example, you have subscription, outstanding, advance, all of these things will get from opening balance sheet. If opening balance sheet is not given to you in the question, you have to prepare opening balance sheet, and this carries 2 to 3 marks. You can directly take it in your pocket because there is nothing you can do incorrectly in opening balance sheet. For example, if there are 8 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 6 items you will do correctly, and you will score 2 to 3 marks out of that. So don't miss the opening balance sheet. That's the first thing. I'll take up an example and I'll explain you again end to end. So one is opening balances, which will give you the opening balance sheet. Then in most of the questions, you will be given something called as the receipts and payments account. You will be given receipts and payments account. Now in the receipts and payment account, on one side you have receipts, on other side you have payments. Now the important part for us is to identify which all receipts will go to income and expenditure account and which all receipts will go to balance sheet. Same way, payments, which all will be taken as expenses, what all will be going to balance sheet. For example, if there is a machinery purchase, then that will be taken to balance sheet. If, let us say, there is a donation to be capitalized, this donation to be capitalized will be taken to balance sheet. So you have to identify which items I have to take to income and expenditure, which item I have to take to the balance sheet from the receipts and payments account. That is the first thing. Now, the bigger challenge for all of us is this receipts and payments account is based on cash basis. And we have to prepare income and expenditure account on accrual basis. Those of you who are on YouTube, if you want to join the Zoom session, you can visit our website and click on the Zoom link there. You will be part of the session. Okay, so those of you are watching on YouTube, if you want to participate through Zoom, you can click on the website, come to our website and click on the link, and you'll be given access to it. Now, receipts and payments, from these, some items will go to income, some items will go to expenses. The tricky part for most of the students is, let us take the favorite adjustment, subscription. Now, subscription is your income. Subscription is your, but then, now what do you mean a subscription? Let us say I have to become a member of a club, or I am a member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I'm a chartered accountant, right? Now, if I'm a chartered accountant, I have to pay membership fees. My membership fee is, let us say, 2,000 for 2023-24. Okay, my membership fee for 23-24 is 2,000. But what did I do? I paid 5,000. My membership fee is 2,000, but I paid 5,000. Now tell me, how much should ICAI recognize as income? 2,000 or 5,000? $2,000. All of us know it, right? So what happens is, in the receipts and payment account, you will have to bank 5,000. To bank 5,000. Right? But in the income and expenditure account, you are saying, sir, we can show only by subscription only 2,000. So we received 5,000, we are showing only 2,000. Where will the balance 3,000 go? This balance 3,000 is something received in advance. 3,000 is received in advance. This you will show as liability subscription, because I have received in advance. Please remember, at a foundation level, sometimes it is difficult for a lot of us to distinguish between advance and prepaid. Accounts, so if you are scared, don't be scared. As I told yesterday, 45 to 50 marks I will be revising broadly, and then you can go back and do your revision. That will help you to be confident about the examination. Okay, now income and expenditure, if it is 2,000, 5,000 is what I have received. Please remember, if somebody has to pay me, it is my asset. If somebody has to pay me, it is my asset. Customer has to pay me is an asset. But if customer pays in advance, it is a liability. Okay, I'm again repeating. If customer has to pay me, so if customer has to pay, it is an asset. If he has not yet paid, it is an asset. If he has paid in advance, it is a liability. So here, 5,000 is total paid, 2,000 is what he should have paid, means he has paid in advance. And if he has paid in advance, then will it be an asset or a liability? If he has paid in advance, will it be an asset or a liability? It will be a liability. So all of you, please keep this in mind. Subscription received in advance is a liability. If the customer has to pay, subscription, we call it outstanding. Customer has to pay. This is an asset. This is an asset. Okay. Subscription received in advance is a liability. Subscription outstanding is an asset. Now, what will happen is you will have information of 1st of April of, let us say, year 1, and you will have information of 31st of March of year 2. Okay, this information will be given. Subscription received. So this is for the entire year. For the period, let us say 10,000. This is the total received in bank. Okay. Outstanding subscription 500. 700. Subscription received in advance 1,000. Okay. Now, what we need to understand is this amount 10,000 will be given in the receipts and payment account. 10,000 will be given in the receipts and payments account. What we need to do is from this cash received, how much should be our income? That is what we need to decide. How much should be our income? That is what we need to decide. Now, while deciding the income, what you need to keep in mind is anything which is not pertaining to current period, I will exclude. Anything not pertaining to current period, I will exclude. Anything pertaining to next. Sri Lakshmi, this is not an illustration. This is an example to handle subscription account. How do we handle subscription account? So I'm just coming back. Subscription received is 10,000. Subscription received is 10,000. This is your cash received or bank received. If something is pertaining to another year, we will not consider. If something is pertaining to current year, we will consider. Okay, so outstanding subscription 500. This is not pertaining to current period. This is not pertaining to current period, but we would have received this as a part of 10,000. So what we will do is subscription received 10,000. Now, outstanding subscription as on 1st of April of year 1, that outstanding subscription does not belong to current period. That outstanding subscription does not belong to current period. So what I will do is I will reduce outstanding subscription on 1st of April minus 500. Okay. Then outstanding subscription as on 31st of March. This is for the current period. So I will consider. So I will add outstanding subscription on 31st of March plus 700. Then subscription received in advance. I have received in the previous period for the current period. So I will consider this subscription in advance 1,000. Then 1,200 which I have received in advance for future years. That is not my year. This is not, that's not current year. I will exclude that. So subscription in advance as on 31st of March, I will reduce minus 1,200. So 10,000 minus 500 plus 700 plus 200, 10,000 plus 200 plus 1,000 minus 1,200. This comes down to 10,000 only. So what I will do is I'll change this slightly. I will make this 1,100. Okay, so that there is no confusion. This is 1,100 minus 1,100. So 10,000 minus 500, 9,500 plus 7,000. 10,200 plus 10,000, 1,000, 11,200 minus 1,100, 10,100. Again, I'm repeating, this is the trickiest adjustment for a lot of students. Anything not pertaining to current year, I will not consider. Anything not pertaining to current year, I will reduce. Anything pertaining to current year, I will add. So, opening subscription does not belong to current period, I will reduce. Ending subscription, outstanding, current period, I will add. In advance, current period, I will add. Outstanding at the prepaid at the end, sorry, in advance at the end, I will exclude because that is not pertaining to current period. So you get 10,100. Now, sometimes this tabular format or not tabular format. So what I will do is I will give you a ledger format also. Okay. Just to quickly cross check your answer, you can use the ledger format that will give you extra confidence in the examination. Right. So in the ledger, what you have to do is you have to prepare a combined account of prepaid, advances, and all of those. You have to prepare a combined account for all the subscription received, receivable, and everything. So this is a combined account. Okay. When you're preparing a combined account. Now, when you're preparing a combined account, what you have to do is outstanding subscription, opening balance. Tell me whether it will be on the debit balance side or the credit balance side. Outstanding subscription, will it be on the debit balance side or the credit balance side? Come on. Outstanding subscription, debit balance. So, to outstanding subscription, 1st of April, how much is the amount? 500. So, I have to receive 500. Similarly, this subscription received in advance is a liability by subscription in advance. That is 700. Okay. Right. Then, whatever subscription we have received, we will say bank to subscription. So, by bank, 10,000. Then, opening outstanding is on the debit side because balance brought down. Closing outstanding. Sorry, this is not 700. This is 1,000. I made a mistake here. This is 1,000. Opening subscription is this side, closing subscription will come this side, which is 700, and to subscription in advance, which is 1,100. Now what I have to do is just do the total. 10,000, 11,000, 11,700. 11,700 minus 1,600, 10,100. This will go to income and expenditure account. Are we all clear with this ledger format? Will this help you to cross check in the examination? If at all you are confused about the statement, please prepare this ledger for cross checking purpose. Okay. So always have this in mind to take subscription minus opening outstanding plus closing outstanding. Because opening outstanding, I'm doing a subtraction, add opening advance minus closing advance. See, in the examination, in that stressful situation, what you need to remember is, even if you remember one item, opening outstanding, I have to reduce. Remaining all, you can plot it. Remaining all, you can plot it easily. Okay, this is the story about subscription. Now, apart from this, remaining part for your expenses, what you can do is, you can note down the expenses. Let us say salary, some other expenses, let us say repair, whatever it is. Okay. To the expenses, prepare this tabular kind of format. Paid 10,000. Add outstanding 500. This is always closing, huh? Minus prepaid, let us say 400. So 10,000 plus 500 minus 400, whatever is the amount you get, that you can transfer to income and expenditure account. That will not be a challenge at all, right? So you have the standard format: add outstanding less prepaid, add outstanding less prepaid. So when you do that, that will be, automatically you'll be able to do this. Now, please be also careful about capital fund. You will have opening balance, add surplus, add something donation to be capitalized, right? So they would give you donations to be capitalized. And whenever they give you what are the donations to be capitalized, you capitalize that donation 50%, 20%, 30%. That information will be given to you in the question itself. That information will be given to you in the question itself. So if the information is available to you in the question, as per the question, you say, okay, this is the donation to be capitalized. You add that and you will get the closing fund. Okay. Then apart from this, sometimes there would be, sports equipment. So in all of these cases, what you have to do is, let us say you have sports equipment. Opening balance plus purchases minus closing balance will be your expenditure. Okay. And be careful about hidden adjustment, investments, loan, whatever we discussed yesterday. Same lines we will be discussing, right? Now, before I take up a question, any other area you want me to cover? Subscription I have covered in detail. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubt in subscription, you can let me know. Apart from that, anything else you want more clarity on, I will be more than happy to cover that before I take up a question. Because by looking at a question only, I'll be able to explain to you the end-to-end process fully. Not today. Company accounts will not happen today. Maybe tomorrow or partnership and then company accounts. Okay. No doubt or no questions. How to treat stock of goods consumed when an item appears in balance sheet? Okay. So there also, let us say you have in the balance sheet stock of, let us say, food items. For example, stock of food, just for example. This is on 1st of April of 21. Stock of food, 1,000. Okay. Then during the year, purchases is, let us say, 10,000. Closing stock is, let us say, 5,000. So 1,000 is opening stock, purchases 10,000 stock, 5,000. Okay. Now, with this, how do we calculate or how do we do the amount to be taken to income and expenditure? So what you have to do is same formula. Opening stock 1,000 plus purchases 10,000 minus closing stock 5,000. This balance, that is 10 plus 1, 11 minus 5, 6,000 is your expense. 6,000 will be the expense to the P&L. You can say, the closing stock, that is expense to be taken to the income and expenditure account. As far as donation treatment is concerned, what you need to do is, donation, if it is for a specific purpose, you will capitalize. If it is given in the question that you have to capitalize 50%, 20%, 30%, you will capitalize. Otherwise, you will take it to the, okay, otherwise you will take it to the P&L. Okay. Then how to calculate cash balance when balance is given as per passbook? So when question doesn't, when the question gives you opening balance, and then the question gives you transactions, you will have receipts and payments. So you'll take the opening balance, receipts, payments, and get to the closing balance. Now, sometimes what happens is they will give us balance as per passbook. Then what you need to do is you need to prepare a BRS and arrive at balance as per cash book. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will take up a question. I'll preferably take up an RTP question and we'll discuss that question end to end. Just give me a moment. We'll take up an actual RTP question and we'll discuss it end to end. Okay. Okay, Krishna, I will take that as well. Are you able to see the screen RTP? Oh. So let us have a look at this question. We'll broadly discuss this and we'll understand what are the various treatments and adjustments that has been given as a part of this, right? So, Dr. Ankur, after retiring from government service, all these information, okay, with 1,50,000 of his own and 2,25,000 borrowed at an interest of 12% per annum, means what? There you will have interest expenditure. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind. His accounts for the year were kept on cash basis. The following is a summarized account, right? So they've given us the summary account of each of them. So receipt, own capital, what is contributed, that goes to the capital fund or capital account. Loan, what he has borrowed, part of loan. Prescription fees, the income. Visiting fees, income. Fee from lectures, income. Pension received, again, income. That's a personal income. Medicines purchased, surgical equipment, this will be capitalized because it is an asset. Motor car is an asset. Motor car expenses, repair. So you'll take it to income and expenditure. Wages and salary, expense. Rent, expense. General charges, expense. Household expenses, what will be treated or what will be considered as a household expense? How will we treat it? Household expenses will be treated as what? drawings. So you will reduce it from the capital balance. Okay. Then household furniture, again, drawings. Expenses on daughter's marriage, drawings. Interest on loan, expense. Balance at bank and cash in hand. So all of that is done. 1/3 of the motor car expenses may be treated as applicable to the private use of the car, and 20 to 500 salaries are in respect of domestic servants. So 1/3 of the motor car expense, what will you do? You will again treat it as drawings. Then 20 to 500 of salaries are in respect of domestic servant. That is also a part of your drawing. Stock of medicine in hand on 31st March was valued at 70,250. How 183,750 was purchased. 183,750 was purchased. So if 183,750 is purchased, out of that, the balance is the closing stock, and 183 minus closing stock will be your expense. You are required to prepare his capital account and income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March and balance sheet as on that date. Ignore depreciation of fixed asset. A very, very simple and straightforward question. Here, only tricky part is that, we need to apportion the income and expenses appropriately, right? So if you come to the solution of this, so medicines consumed, purchases minus closing stock, what I told you, that is your closing balance, right? Purchases minus closing stock is your closing balance. That's the first thing. Then motor car expenses, 90,000. On that, 2/3 is companies, balance 1/3 is drawing. So drawings of 30,000 will be reduced. Same way salaries, 20 to 500 is your drawings, right? Then general charges, interest on loan is fine. Prescription fees, visiting fees, fee from lecture, straightforward is there. Then we also need to prepare capital account. Now, capital account you can prepare in a statement format by whatever he has donated by cash or bank, 1,50,000. Then pension has been received 225. That is also in the firm. So if pension has been received and it is in the firm, that also will be added to capital. All the personal expenses will be reduced as drawings, and net income will be added to the capital account. Okay, simple one. There is nothing complicated. So I will take the other question which has been suggested by Krishna, I guess, where he said recent MTP questions. I'll take up that. That looks to be better because this looks to be too simple to calculate actually. Right. So let us look at the MTP question, what has been asked. Just a moment. Yeah. So here, from the following information supplied by the new hockey club, prepare receipts and payment and income and expenditure, not balance sheet. Receipts and income and expenditure, outstanding subscription, advance subscription, outstanding salaries, cash in hand and bank. Then 10% investment, furniture, machinery, sports goods, all of them have been given. Cash in hand, cash in bank, closing balance is not given. Okay, so we need to know what will be the closing balance of cash in hand and cash in bank, that we can prepare receipts and payment account and we can get the answer for that, right? So that's the first part. Then subscription for the year amount to 1,50,000. Now, when they say subscription for the year amount to 1,50,000, that represents the income account. income should be 1,50,000. Salaries paid 30,000. Face value of investment was 87,500. 50% of investment was sold at 80% face value. So investment value is 87,500. 50% is sold at 80%. So that will help us to get to the receipts part. Furniture was sold for 4,000. Machinery and good and sports good purchase and put to use at the last date of the year. No depreciation. Charge depreciation on 15% per annum on machinery and sports goods and 10% per annum on furniture. Following expenses were made: sports expenses, rent, miscellaneous expenses. So what they want us to do is they want us to calculate both receipts and payment part and also the income and expenditure part. Okay, so let us do that. Let me share back my screen. Okay. Now, let's do it one by one. First, subscription for the year is 1,50,000. Now, the subscription for the year 1,50,000 is their income. Okay, income is 1,50,000. Now, we need to know how much did we receive. Now, how do we calculate that? To calculate that, we can either prepare the ledger account for subscription or statement for subscription. Okay, so income is 1,50,000. Now, going back to the question, what does the question say? Outstanding subscription 70,000 and 1,00,000. So on at the beginning of the year, subscription outstanding is 70,000. Means what? This is my income. Previous year 70,000 was outstanding. I received that in the current year. So add subscription outstanding opening balance 70,000. Okay. Then subscription outstanding as on 31st March. I have kept it as income, but I did not receive the money. If I did not receive the money, I will say minus subscription outstanding closing balance, that is 1,00,000. Okay, just exactly opposite of what we did when we moved from receipts and payments to income and expenditure. Then advance subscription 12,500. I have received in last year, not in the current year. So minus. Advance subscription at the year end for the next period, not included here, but I have received the money. Add. So 1,50,000 plus 70, 2,20,000 minus 1,00,000, 1,20,000 plus 15,000, 1,35,000 minus 12,500. What I get is 1,22,500. Are we clear? Any doubt here? Any doubt? Okay, so this amount is what we have received. This amount is what we have received. Okay, so that received amount is 1,22,500. That will be taken to your receipts and payments account. Okay, then another part of tricky adjustment that is there is face value of the investment is 87,500. Face value of the investment is 87,500. 50% was sold at 80% of face value. So 87,500 is the total face value. Out of this, 50% was sold at 80% face value. So 87,500. So 87,500 multiplied by 50% multiplied by 80%, what we get? 35,000. Now this 35,000 is the amount that has been received on selling the investment. Okay, on selling the investment. Now, what does the question say? 50% of investment means 70,000 is the total investment value. 50% of investment. So this is the sale value. Cost is 50% of 70,000, which is 35%. So sale proceeds is 75,000, sorry, 35,000. Cost is also 35,000. So there is no gain, there is no loss. So the income and expenditure balance would be zero. The receipts may you will say that you have 35,000, right? Then furniture was sold for 4,000 at beginning of the year. So furniture, if you see, from 14,000 it has come down to 7,000. So cost of furniture sold would be how much? 7,000. Sale price 4,000. Loss 3,000. So 3,000 of loss, you will take it to your income and expenditure account, and sale price of 4,000, you will take it to your receipts and payments account. Okay. Then depreciation you can calculate as given. Then apart from depreciation you can calculate. Then sport expenses 25,000. Now when we say sports expenses of 25,000, that indicates the expense, and expense you will take it to the income and expenditure account. How much? 25,000. In the receipts and payments account also you will say sports expenses, which is a outflow 25,000. Then rent 12,000, out of which 1,000 is outstanding. So if 12,000 is the rent, 12,000 you will take it to income and expenditure, and 1,000 which is outstanding you will take it to the balance sheet. Okay, so like that you can prepare the income and expenditure and receipts and payments account. Okay, so that is how you would prepare. If you have any questions you can ask me. Okay, so no questions. So MTP April edition. This is April edition only. As this May edition. Okay. What is the doubt in April edition? Yes, all MTP, RTPs, everything is available for free. So what you can do is you can go to free resources. Sorry, go to free courses. On the dashboard, you have this free resources section. Here you have all the past, present, everything. So go to accounting, for example, mock test. Everything is available here for free to download. So you can sign up and you can download easily. Okay. So with this we have covered broadly the non-profit organization. Subscription is the most trickier part. Aids given by government, if it is for a specific purpose, you will reduce it from that expense. Otherwise, you will add it to the capital fund. Okay, you have to look at the specific treatment, the wording given in the question. Accordingly, you will have to do it. See, not more. So what happens is, if you look at the past examination pattern, MTP's questions are also picked up from RTPs and past exam papers. Okay, so similar type of questions may come, and whatever we do, or we have been asking students to go back to last 4 or 5 years of analysis. So based on that, you can figure out if this type of questions will come. But in these type of questions, which are asked for generally 10 marks to 15 marks, what happens is, if you are able to do even 50-60% correctly, you will score 10 to 12 marks easily. So don't skip this question. What we discussed yesterday also, and what we discussed today as well. Okay. So we're done with NPO. Now, tomorrow we will do company accounts. Partnership first, and then we will do the companies next. Okay. So thanks a lot for joining in. Tomorrow onwards, the session will be on YouTube directly. It will not be on Zoom. So it will directly give you the YouTube link, and you can join using the YouTube link. Okay. Thank you.